Proverbs, the 16th chapter. And we're going to look at verses 2 through 6 here. Give verse 2 there, Jay.
All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits.
Read that for him again, please.
All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
All the ways of man, okay, is clean in his own eyes, but what?
But the Lord weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established.
Now, see, that's the key right there. That's the key. It's because what's going on is with our people is, people say like, man, I can't help what come in my mind, man. I can't help, the way I feel, man. I can't help the way things are happening. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we have justified so many of our actions, because we believe that what we're doing is okay, because everybody else is doing it. You know what I'm saying? When we go into churches, when we go into the so-called religious assemblies, it ain't no different. You see, you be in the club, and you see your choir over there, you see your ushers over there, the pastor in the back in the booth, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Everybody, when power come on, everybody is tuning in. You seeing everybody going in on social media when Empire's on. So, hey, there is no difference, right? There is no expectation to be something outside of it, because that's what everybody else is doing. But he said, what in verse 3?
Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established.
See, once you commit to doing what the Most High says, then your thought pattern will be established, because the only thing you're going to be thinking about is doing the Most High's work. And that's what will control the thoughts that are coming in your mind. Verse 4.
The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Everyone that is proud and in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
Whoa. Read that again.
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
Everyone that's gay.
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
You see that? See, the churches have been critical and so judgmental of those who are trapped in homosexuality. We call that an abomination. But the Most High said, what in verse 4?
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
Wow. See, you didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that your pride was an abomination to the Most High. You didn't know that every time someone is coming to you with the Most High law and with the Most High truth and trying to show you how you're supposed to live, and you're like, man, I ain't got to do that. That ain't for me. You didn't know that was an abomination, did you? You had no idea that you was looking at, in the eyes of the Most High, the same way as a homosexual. See, most of the people are so focused on the sins that we can see, we don't never take into account of what we can't see. So read that for him again.
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished.
Though your hands are joined together, okay? Though that you're standing in the prayer line with your hands joined, you're not going to go unpunished. So you sitting there in your churches on Sunday morning, you sitting there at Walmart and at the mall, you're walking around on your job and walking around in your community, and you're looking at certain people, the way they get dressed, and certain people, the way they act, and you're saying, yo, these are the person that the Most High gonna get. Woe unto them and woe unto them. Not even realizing woe unto you with your pride. Woe unto you with your proud look. Woe unto you with your judgmental heart. Woe unto you who refuse to listen to anything, any form of correction, any form of direction, any form of rebuke for your actions. Woe unto you. Verse 5? No, verse 6.
By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil.
Say that for him one more time.
By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged.
See, that means the first step that it must be taken in order for iniquity to leave is the mercy of the Most High. So we can't get to the point in that we believe that I'm doing a little better than the next man, that I got this on my own. Because it was the Most High mercy that even get me to that point to let this sin go. But the second step that must take place is what? Mercy and what?
Mercy and truth.
Mercy and truth. Because if I'm not going by the truth that's here in the Bible, iniquity can't lead, because I tell myself, hey, the Most High is cool with this. We're in the grace. And so I'm not going to put the cart before the horse, because we're going to deal with the law. We're going to deal with the application of the law in some upcoming precepts. So I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. But I need you to see that first. There, read that for me again. It said, mercy and what?
By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged.
And
by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil.
By the fear of the Lord is how man departs from evil. Proverbs 1:7 tells us that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all knowledge. That means if there's not a fear, not meaning scared and afraid, but a reverence for who the Most High is, you're never going to start doing the things that are wrong in your life. Because you're so caught up in the white Jesus who tell you, we walk through lily fields with a flower in his mouth telling you, I love you no matter what. But that Christ don't exist in the Bible. Okay? He doesn't exist. So today's lesson is entitled, Blueprint of a Healthy Relationship. You don't have the right. We don't have the right to design our own relationship for what we want with the Most High. You understand? Let's go to Matthew the 25th chapter. Now, before we get into that, let me preface this so we can make sure we can get a true understanding of what we're talking about here. Because with this type of lesson that's going forth, we don't need any confusion amongst the people. Now, let's think about it from this perspective. When you have the husband and the wife. Husband and the wife. Now, of course, everybody's marriage is not the same, right? You got people who do these things for fun. You got people who do those things for fun. Whatever the case may be, right? But once again, just like with the parent and the child, there's certain things that everybody knows that are acceptable when it comes to marriage, right? I can't be out here cheating on my woman and think that it's okay. But there are some women in this world who allow that. And people be married for 40 years. Right? Then you can't be out here disrespecting your husband, not being submissive to your husband. Some men allow that. And people are married for 30, 40 years. So when people sit back sometimes and they started looking at other people's marriages, other people's relationships, they started measuring themselves against that and say, you know, well, hey, man, I don't cheat on my wife, but you still talk down to her. Well, I cook for my man every day, but you still have a mouth and an attitude every time he tries to correct you when you're doing something wrong. So what happens is, what I'm saying is that you can't judge yourself based on the faults of someone else and then make yourself feel as if, okay, I'm not doing that, so I'm good. And we take that same mindset and we go to the Most High. We say, yo, this person over there doing this person over there wilding. Hey, man, I don't be doing that to the Most High, man. Listen, I honor every Sabbath, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat no pork, man, no swine, man. But you're still lying, okay? You're still lying. Some of you are still fornicating. So the fact that you know that you're Israel, that doesn't mean anything if you're breaking the Most High laws. Good morning, cuz. Good to see you on with us this morning. Or should I say Miss Davis? Good morning. Good morning. All right, so let's go to Matthew the 25th chapter. Matthew the 25th chapter. We're going to look at verses 1 through 13 here today. And for those who are just joining us right now, today's lesson is entitled Blueprint of a Healthy Relationship. Let's give verse 1 there, Jay.
Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Okay.
And found them unwise.
Hold on one second. Read that for me again.
Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which who took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. So that we can understand fully here, of what we're talking about here, the bridegroom is Christ. Isaiah 61 verse 10 says, I will rejoice greatly in the Lord. My soul will exult in my God, for he has clothed thee with the garments of salvation. He has wrapped me in the robe of righteousness.
as a bridegroom decks himself for his with a garland, and a bride adorns herself with her jewels. So we need you to understand that. Is that relationship, that bridegroom to bride, is going to be with the Israel with Christ. This is the marrying. This is the coming together of the covenant. You understand? Not the church like the churches want to put out there. The bride is Israel. You, us, the so-called black man, the so-called African American man, the so-called Mexican, the so-called Puerto Rican, the so-called Haitian, the so-called Jamaican, the so-called Brazilian, the so-called Aborigines of Israel, Australia, excuse me, the so-called Indian, the so-called Native American. You are the bride. All right? Love you too, cuz. Verse 2 here.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
Okay, now, so we have 10 virgins. He said the kingdom of God, as if is in 10 virgins. 5 of these virgins are wise, which we know that the Bible says, what we said, Proverbs 1:7, that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all knowledge. So 5 of them feared the Lord, and 5 of them are what?
5 of them were foolish.
Now, let's give you a precept so you can understand what foolish is. Because what foolish in the world, what people consider to be foolish in the world, and what foolish means to the Most High, it's not the same thing. Good morning, Miss Harrison. It's good to see you on with us this morning. So let's go to a precept here. We're going to hold that. Let's go to Psalm 14 so you can get a true understanding of what the Most High considers to be a fool. Because, I mean this in no disrespect, but this world is full of fools. And they don't even know it. Psalm 14, we're going to give you a precept here from verse 2 here in Matthew 25. This is how you get the understanding. You can know exactly what the Most High is talking about. Psalm 14, and we're going to look at verses 1 through 7 here, the precept, so you can understand fully what Christ is talking about here in this parable. Matthew 14, Psalm 14, verse 1 through 7. Now, give verse 1 there.
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
He said what?
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
Okay, so when you come up here and say, listen, man, I don't need this church thing, man. I don't need Christ. You know what I'm saying? I follow the laws of method, man. I'm into this eschatology, man. I'm conscious. You know what I'm saying? I'm woke. Hashtag woke. Read it for him again.
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
That's what the fool says. And they are what?
They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that understand and seek God. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one.
No, not one. Verse 3.
Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon the name of the Lord. There were they in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous. Because
the Most High is in the generation of the righteous. You understand? But then he said what?
Ye have shamed the counsel of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge.
So for those who know the Most High, for those who are walking with Christ, the world try to shame us. The world try to make us look bad. This world try to shame the poor because the poor understands truly, yeah, I may not have this, I may not have that, but I got the Most High. And you got a lot of poor, rich people in this world. I'm going to say it again. You got a lot of poor, rich people in this world. They got a lot of money, a lot of fancy cars, a lot of great clothes, jewels, diamonds. But they're poor, miserable, blind, and wretched, according to Christ in Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Verse 7.
Oh, that the salvation of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel will come out of
Zion. Europe.
Of Israel.
Of America.
Of Israel.
Of the Christians.
Of Israel.
Okay.
Will come out of Zion, when the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
The Christians shall be glad.
Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
The Baptists shall be glad.
Israel shall be glad.
The AM Zion shall be glad.
Israel shall be glad.
Okay. So read that for him one more time, verse 7.
Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. The Lord brings back the captivity of his people.
So, that means, if you still walk around calling yourself black, you still walk around calling yourself African American, when it's time for the Most High to bring back his children out of captivity, you're going to be standing in the line over there to the Gentiles and not even realizing that the Most High is calling you back. And then once he calls us back, he's going to say, what?
Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
And Israel shall be glad. Blueprint of a healthy relationship. So let's go back to Matthew 25. I need you to understand fully what he was talking about here. Now read verse 2 for me here again.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
So that means 5 of them made up of their mind, said, listen, y'all boys go to church. You understand? Y'all do that thing. 5 of them said, listen, you know, I know the Sabbath, you know what I'm saying, whatever, the Sabbath in my heart, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to the mall today, you know what I'm saying? And I might go to church on Sunday. I might. The Lord know my heart. 5 of them said, yeah, I should go to Bible study, but if I go to Bible study tonight, I'm going to miss Empire, and I don't got TV no more, I don't got DVR no more, so I don't want to miss this. You understand? 5 of them said, listen, I don't need to tithe and give offerings because I know that I got this good job and I'm going to be good. To read for them again, the first 4 and 5 again.
But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. Oh, I'm sorry. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
So they didn't take no oil. They didn't take the anointing. They didn't take the word of the Most High. They didn't develop a relationship with the Holy Spirit. But the wise did what?
But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
So, that means that when Christ was coming back, he didn't come back when they thought he was going to come. So notice it said they all slumbered and slept. So that means that at some point in life, no matter if we are righteous or we unrighteous, if we're seeking the Most High or we're not, if we're doing what thus says the Lord or we're not, there's going to be some point of our lives when we're going to be not focusing in the right perspective. There's going to be some point in our life where we're going to be off base. We're going to lose focus. We're not going to be so caught up in doing what's right. We're not going to be so caught up in doing following the law. There's going to be a point in every man's life that you're going to miss the mark. So I want to make that clear. That everybody ain't going to dot every I. That everybody's not going to cross every T. Because the Bible says that when we stand before the Most High, he's going to say, well done, thy good and thy faithful servant. You were faithful over what? A few things. So that means we're going to do a few things right, but a many of the things we're going to do wrong. So I don't want this to be misunderstood that everybody, a group of some people doing everything right and certain people doing it wrong, because he said what? He said when he delayed, what happened?
When the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
So that means at one point, it's going to come in our lives that everybody's not going to be where they need to be and doing what they need to do. But this is the key thing. Verse 6.
And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him.
So suddenly, unexpectedly, while everybody was asleep, it was time to go to the bridegroom. It was time to go receive the blessing. It was time to come and form the relationship back with the bridegroom. Verse 7.
Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
You see that? So the people who said that they didn't need to study, the people who said that they didn't need to honor the Sabbath, the people who said that they didn't need to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, when it came down to the end, who did you need to depend on? Well, the ones that you was clowning. The one that you was calling the legalists. The one that you was calling the Jesus freak. The one that you was saying, they don't take all that. Then now the same person that you clowned and humiliated and ridiculed on Facebook, now you need them. When you can't get that prayer through because you don't know no word, now you're in the inbox. Hey man, you think you can pray for me? That same woman that you walked away from, homeboy, because she didn't want to fornicate. And she didn't want to live that life. Now you're finding yourself back at a door. As my pastor say, broke, busted, and disgusted. Now, shorty, now, young lady, that man that was trying to get you to follow the law, that man that was trying to get you to put on some decent clothes, after they've been ran through in the streets, and you got all these kids you got to feed, now you find yourself, hey, you know what I'm saying? I did always like you, though. We had something special, though. And I'm not trying to be hurtful. I'm just giving you the understanding of what's going on and the decisions that our people are making. When you're choosing the world over the Most High, when you're choosing lies over the truth, when you're choosing to be comfortable other than get into the things of the Most High He's called you to do. When you want to be a part of the crowd instead of standing out and doing what thus says the Lord. So read verse 8 for me again.
And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, our lamps are gone out.
Mm-hmm.
But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
So that's what happens. When you refuse what the Most High gives for free, ultimately you have to go to Satan. You have to go to man and pay for what you could have got for free. And this is what happens when we make those decisions. Because at the end of the day, people got to do what's right for them. They got to take care of themselves because the Bible tells us in Philippians 2, the 2nd chapter, I think around verse 12, that we must work out our own salvation, soul salvation with fear and trembling. So I'm not going to put myself in a position that I don't receive from the Most High, trying to give to you when you could have did the same thing I did. Verse 10.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
See that? Because when we're in a position to get what the Most High has for us, and then now we forsake that time, now we're searching for substance, searching for water, searching for food, searching for love, searching for deliverance, searching for a way out. And then by the time you realize what's going on, Christ done came and gone. And the door is shut. Verse 11.
Afterwards came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not.
I don't know you. And some of these same people going around here in the world every day telling people, yeah, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. Don't you love God? Yeah, I love God. He said, I don't know you, bro. I never talked to you a day in my life. You ain't never said nothing to me. I remember back in the day when we used to have a friends of mine, the Rojas's, Brandy and Omar, Pastor Brandy and Pastor Omar there, came up with their ministry was doing a Thursday night prayer call every Thursday night. And we would promote it, start on Tuesday and Wednesday, telling people about it. And we would tell the people, like, listen, come on to the line and get they'll say, we'll pray for you. Situation that you have, and you know that people wouldn't even take the 15 minutes to come on the prayer call themselves. They just rather just send the prayer request, and wouldn't even take the 15 minutes to get your own blessing prayed for. That's sad. That you don't even have time to pray for yourself. You don't even make time, to pray for yourself. You rather put that off on somebody else. But this is what's going on in that time. When we make time for everything else. Verse 13.
Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour where the Son of Man cometh.
Be ready. Be ready. Today's lesson is entitled Blueprint of a Healthy Relationship. Let's go to Hosea, the 2nd chapter.